Howdy there, folks. Tex of the Black Pants Legion, and we are here again. Van Zandt Free State Militia Company D. I advanced time just a little bit, just so I could get some of my people out of the hospital. I'm sure you didn't want to see them, lingering in horrible pain. But today we're going to go down, and we're going to fight a mission. Let's see what we got. Oh. A solo duel. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, got that. Oh, well, all right. Dropship belonging to mercenaries. Okay. Yeah. Alliance of Mechs. All right. Assassinate a guy. And what does this say? Lance tonnage. No. All right. So ambush a convoy and then assassinate a guy, huh? All right. Let's do this battle. It says they have a lance and it's mercenaries. Watch it be the Wolf's Dragoons. Just watch it be the Wolf's Dragoons. And we end up dying, all of us, instantly. All right, let's go to the Lance B, and we're going to take the Demolisher, and we're going to take some of our other pals. And we're going to hope that we are ready for spaghetti. Deploy! Deploy the boy. That's what we do. We're going to bring all of our firepower, and we're going to do our best. Now, considering the luck of my mercenary unit here, you're going to end up with a bunch of ass kicking, and the ass kicking is going to be my ass that's kicked, and then occasional brief glimpses of victory. Incredibly brief ones, just like, when something happens, that small moment of wonder. We are still alive, somehow. Yeah, the lance you've got is never the lance you want. Correct. That's one thing I try to let people know, is when you're building your perfect little slice of heaven, when it comes down to your mech comp, I know a lot of people go out and theory craft, but they never play the game. There's a lot of people who are Excel warriors. They go, here's my battle value, here's my sheets, here's my everything. This on paper does more than that. This on paper does more than that. This on paper does more than that. And then you'll find that people who actually play the game, people who actually get down there and roll bones, people who have the experience of gameplay will go, it doesn't work like that. And what they mean is not that the other person's grasp of mechanics are wrong, but more often than not, there's always an embarrassing thing that can and will happen because of Murphy's Law and laws of averages. So while some machines may seem like the be-all end-all, you'll find that there is a whole cult of people who swear the Stone Rhino is the best thing in the world because all they can see is aggressive triangle shape and all the firepower pointing in one direction. They just get that World War II, Sturmtiger vibe from it, or, the Jagdtiger vibe from it. And they think that, oh man, I've got myself a tank destroyer. This thing's metal, it's a tank destroyer, I can fight everybody. Then they go take it to the tabletop, and they find their asses kicked. All at once. They find their asses blown off, and it's because someone goes, oh, you brought that, it's not that fast. And they bring a bunch of lighter mechs, and they just go kung fu fight the guy. They just kick it until it falls over. Stuff like that happens all the time in Battletech. There was a guy I knew who kept a bunch of locusts as a secondary lance just to harass people who brought too much heavy metal. And he would use it to trip them up, like a cat between the legs, more or less. He would just run around and trip them. That was his whole objective, was just to be belligerent. And he aimed beautifully in that. I mean, it was annoying as shit. But if someone came up and they're like, I have 4 blood-ass primes, and I have this, and I have that, and he would just go trip them. But then again, there is the other side of theory crafting, where someone just comes in with raw numbers, you know? They're like, well, I have 20,000 battle value in infantry. You're like, look, I don't have 8 hours for your turn. Okay, Archer 2R, not bad. Let's swing. Miss, but the autocannon fired. I'm a person who believes that large autocannon should always be firing. There's a bunch of people in the community who believe the same. They think that if you have a big gun and you brought it to the battlefield, it needs to constantly be shooting. Otherwise, it is not doing its job. And that's fair. That is a fair statement. If you have 10 rounds, chances are that mech is not going to last 10 rounds of combat. So every round it needs to be shooting, because even if it is a 1 in 6 chance that it does some damage, that one shot may be the one that cores the other mech. That one AC-20 blast, that one heavy Gauss round, may be the one that wrecks the day. Alright, this guy's out in the open. Let's light him up. A lot of people also don't know the value of good pilots. Good pilots are better than good mechs, 9 times out of 10. If you have a pilot that is a 1-2 pilot and you put it in a flea, that flea is going to last a lot longer than a 5-6 pilot driving an Atlas, typically. As soon as that Atlas has to make a piloting roll, as soon as that Atlas has to do a maneuver, you're going to find it just falls down. Alright, Orion forward. Alright. I might take that Archer home, if they give me the parts. Okay, we have 2 PPCs at least in the back. I don't know what he's got. Night Star. Alright, let's light it up. Alright, let's run the Demolisher up and let it do its job. Act as a chalk under the wheels of progress. Blast him. Nope. 18 rounds remaining. I can see that. There's some people probably just camped out over here. Like they're celebrating their 4th or 5th wedding anniversary. They're going over there. They're going to say, you know what? We're going to take off, honey. We're going to get out of the office today. And we're going to go into the woods and we're going to have a nice campsite. And we're going to love on each other as much as possible. It's going to be a good time. And then missiles start flying back and forth, and this Archer will fall over on their tent. And they'll get very mad. And they will hate mech warriors for the rest of their days. That's my headcanon. Alright, a missile. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to hope to knock him over so I can take most of it home. I need a doggy bag for later. Miss? Now, I've stripped a lot of armor off that Archer. I'm hoping to knock a hole in it and cause one of them beautiful, beautiful ammo explosions. Alright, here we go. Let's hit him with everything. Burn a hole. Moving the ballista over here. Not great. Okay, catapult C1 and a dervish. So they brought plenty of backup. However, the catapult is not incredibly robust. So typically if you can get an ammo explosion on him, it's game over. The dervish is a mixed bag. Catapult is doing what it should be doing though, which is sitting in the back and pelting with missiles until it dies. Amusingly enough, the Catapult episode was the one where Mike first came on board as the chief editor, and we threw every idea we had at the wall and Mike just made it happen. So that episode is all over the place thematically and in terms of effects, and some people really liked it and some people didn't. Some people thought it wasn't a great episode, some people thought it was their favorite. To each their own. Every episode we try something different. We try to modify a thing. We try to change a thing up. Because, and this is to any of you out there who are thinking of making videos on anything that you love. And I mean anything that you love. If you let your heart become a factory where it's script writing Monday, record on Wednesday, out on Friday, every week, week after week, week after week, week after week, and you start to not enjoy things, or you start to not find success, you'll burn out really quick. I've been doing this YouTube thing for like 12 years at this point. I've seen a lot of people do that, just burn out, because they go, oh, well, I'm not going to analyze what worked or what I enjoyed, and it's just fire off the next video. And I'm not saying don't make videos fast. If you can, do it. Follow your muse. While your muse is there, follow it. Follow your muse while it's there. But don't force that shit. If you're a singer and your voice is worn out, don't record one more song. Take a break. Okay, got a hole in the hunchback. Not so great. But yeah, a lot of people feel that on YouTube, because of how YouTube works, you need to make constant videos, constant content, constant clicks. And that's true if you want to make shorts forever. But if you want to do things, like honestly do things, oh shit, he ejected, fuck yes, I'm going home with an archer. If you want to do things and enjoy it, make sure you're enjoying it. Give yourself that moment of pause and go, did I enjoy this process? If it's too stressful, don't do it anymore. You don't have to. It's YouTube. It's not real life. If you're going to sweat over anything, sweat over stuff in meat space. Sweat over stuff that, may impact your ability to live comfortably. Sweat over real life skills. Sweat over real life clout, but not internet clout. Trust me, as an internet niche micro celebrity as I am, and I mean very niche and very forgettable, don't sweat over bullshit. It's just not worth it. And when it comes down to, my videos, I feel lucky. There's a lot of people, including George Ledoux, who said, you're the voice of Battletech. And I said, brother, I am a voice in the choir. I'm the Tom Waits voice in the choir. I'm all fucked up and old and tired sounding, and I don't do everything perfect, and I agonize over every mistake I make. And I feel like I can always do better, that I can always try harder. But the problem is that way lays madness. A lot of folks, again, I've seen on YouTube just burn themselves out. Just make sure you're doing things for reasons you appreciate. All right, that Hector is not going to last long. I'm more worried about this catapult, though. While it isn't the hardest thing in the world, it's hard enough. And it can hurt. All right, let's let him have some. Blap. Yeah, there we go. Melt some of that armor off. But when it comes down to content creation, there's a really good rule, and I believe it was Total Biscuit who said so, God rest his soul. Total Biscuit said, if you don't see the kind of content you want out there, go make it. If you see that there's not something you enjoy on YouTube, if you see a better way of doing things, go out and do the shit out of it. Go out there and be that light that starts this whole beautiful new form of content. Go be that person who makes beautiful things. If you're upset that people don't play Doom wads that you like, be the guy who does that. If you're upset there's somebody who's not making lore videos on the thing you like, the niche thing you like Crimson Skies or Shadowrun or any of these other FASA properties, shit, if you find yourself wanting to resurrect an ancient game that has an IP that is crazy and lost and no one knows who owns what, go do it. I and a bunch of other people have done that. That means it's possible for you too. But please do it in health. There are plenty of people out there who will go out and say, I need to make videos on X because I enjoy videos on X. And then they realize, wait, I'm in competition with everyone. Yep, you will be. Emperor Lemon had a great series of videos on this. YouTube Geographic. Leafy was here. I recommend every YouTuber watch that video. You can be replaced. It happens. You can do an amazing job. No one will notice. You can do all sorts of things and be a really cool, upstanding person. No one will care. You need to make sure you're doing it for your reasons, and in a way that is not self-harming. Let's see if we can kill this Hector. Oh, left leg destroyed. Fall down, fall down. About to bite the dust? Fall down. Yes, he's panicked because he's on the floor. Yes, it does. And please don't think like I've got all this figured out. I don't. These are just a few bare lessons I've learned, and I'm not the fount of this wisdom. I merely discovered it for myself. And many of these warnings were passed to me from other YouTubers, other creators, people in my life. These are not unique lessons to just YouTube. Whatever you create, whatever you do with your time, make sure it is enriching you. I've known plenty of people who threw oceans of time into tabletop because they felt like, oh, if I don't, I'm going to miss out. And I mean tabletop wargaming, everything else. And they take no joy from it. I know people who play 40K in Battletech, and it makes them miserable. I know people who play chess, and they don't care for it, but they've been playing it for so long, it's just what they do. What I'm saying is go find something you enjoy if you don't. Go find something you enjoy that brings you just as much reward. Because there is as well a large standing chance that you may change as you go on. You may go, I don't like this anymore. And as we said on the podcast quite frequently, liking something shouldn't be hard. It should be just natural. That's why I want all of you to understand that while the internet age has certainly brought on man-made horrors beyond our comprehension, and certainly many more within our comprehension, please keep in mind that we also live in an era where we can access the sum bulk total of human wisdom and experiences. All of that data is out there. You can do whatever you like with it. I would recommend start reading. Just please be aware that YouTube is not a primary source, nor is Reddit. It's kind of one horrifying moment is I had to correct someone's gun knowledge. And I'm not trying to say like I know all the things. I'm a gunsmith. I know what I've laid hands on. But I know certainly enough that YouTube and Reddit are not primary sources on firearms. And I find it odd that so many people state that they possess advanced knowledge of tactical X, Y, and Z because YouTube. I'm like, ugh, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Which is bizarre to me. Then again, every community has people like that. It's strange. Alright, let's move the Demolisher up and see if I can't hammer this home. Alright, Dervish. Oh, wow. Wow. Beautiful double tap. Oh. Alright, looks like Intel was right, and we are fighting literally just a lance. Let's swing for the fences. Swing, swing, swing. Medium laser destroyed. Alright. I think I can take him this round. Go, 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 go. Oh, yes. Time for you to die. Hunchback 4H. Do you just pride yourself on not hitting targets? Well, close enough, right? Let's debrief aboard the ship. You mean, let's send in the salvage bulldozer. I just imagine it's a crane and a magnet. It's like a crane game. We're just like, and the crane comes down and just starts sucking up parts. Did make a lot on the payout, and that's fine. I'm hoping to bone up and get some more good boy points with these Steiners here. All right. Let's see. I got my archer parts. I got 2 catapult parts and some other stuff. LRM 20s. Hell yes. I can make this archer into something nice. I could also make it into a mobile arrow 4, which is what I want, really. Well, no. I have other ideas. Thunderbolt 15s. I could fill it with rockets and just make it an alakablam. You know, just make it one of those sandpaper machines, which are so effective. All right, let's get into our mech pilots here. You know what? There we go. Indirect fire is a good thing to bone up on. So you can make sure that your folks are actually hitting things when they have to trust somebody else's targeting data. Generalissimo. Let's see. Oof. Let's do perfect targeting. Remove people's evasion. Or rather, the bonuses thereof. Sensor lock, let's see. Sensor lock. Let's do that. My name is Jaculus. Alright, sensor lock. Anything we can do to enhance our chances of not suck. That's what we do. Sensor lock. Confirm. Confirm. Gunnery. No, you don't. He still thinks he's in House Arano. He's just like, for House Arano. I'm like, no. Alrighty, what do we got here? Vodka. Great name. They're like, no, that's what I want. I'm like, what's your name? They're like, Vodka. I'm like, well, alright. They're just telling me what they want. Let's see, storage, archer? Hell yeah. I'm gonna build me an archer. And I'll keep the other mechs in parts. So LRM 20s. Let's refit this archer and see what we can do with it. Actually, gotta sound like Reddit there. Actually, let's get into weapons and ammo and see what we can do in terms of other fancier options. Ammunition, please. Do I have more MRM ammo on the market? No. No, not really. Not really. Alright, let's just get into the archer anyways. See what we can do. Archers are great mechs, if used well. However, I'm going to migrate the ammunition to the feetsies, because that's where they live. Ammunition belongs in the feetsies. Now, some of you are going to say, Tex, didn't you say ammunition doesn't belong in the feetsies? And I'll be like, how dare you point out what I said? Alright, let's see. What can we get for... That could be nice. You know what? I'm going to go with heat sinks, because I know my own proclivities of just chain firing this. Drop 2 medium lasers, and I'm just going to keep pouring missiles in on people. Because that's what you do when you don't care about the target so much. Alright, let's advance this work a few days. Oh. Wow. The Steiners gave us like an appreciation plaque. Probably comes with free parking. I'm joking. They would never give you free parking. Okay, I've got this 4P that has an autocannon in defiance of most things. This also has too many heat sinks, so I'm going to replace 2 of the heat sinks with more ammo. Actually, wait, what am I saying? I've lost my mind. It's the 4P, not the 4H. I just melted my brain cells a bit. I think they just swapped... Yeah, well, it'll keep them busy. Alright, sorry, 4H. We're going to put more AC-20 ammo in there. I remember my problem was essentially that I had no AC-20 ammo at the time, which I've since corrected. So now, I have ammo in 1 feetsie. so I can kick someone and watch my ass explode for days. I'm a smart person. When I do dumb stuff, in tabletop or otherwise, I will quote the pack lads from TNG. We find things that make us go. We're smart. Alright, I don't want to fight Rasselhog, that sounds mean. Alright, capture a base, emergency evacuation. Well, that's technically an assassination. I'm going to evacuate them. Keep in mind, you can evacuate a building, but to evacuate a person has a different medical connotation. Looks like I have to fight the remnants of Rasselhog. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's see. I'm going to remove the 4H for the Archer. And then Generalissimo has some brain damage, so we're going to replace him with Pharaoh. There we go. And then I think after this battle, we will go to a new planet. We will go to a new planet to seek new fortunes. We shall see. It's an unknown where we will go next. But what I'm hoping to do is to keep the bulk of my finances still in my wallet, while still affording a number of artillery platforms. Is there such a thing as too much artillery, you may ask? No. Unless you have more artillery than ammo, then yes, actually. But you kind of need a surplus of artillery, because you run down those gun barrels, you run down those jackets, stuff breaks. You have to rotate things to your RSO facilities in order to keep them running. Oh, Smog. That's interesting. He's like, my name is Smog. And you're like, oh, like the dragon? That's badass. And he's like, no. You're like, oh, like the pollution? And he's like, yeah, I smoke a lot in this cockpit. And you're like, ew. That's like being called armpit stains. That is just unfortunate. Alright, destroy enemy mechs. Here we go. There's a lot of really interesting call signs, but you've heard my observation on call signs before. The more brutal and metal they sound, the weaker the pilot. The dumber and sillier they sound, the more dangerous. It's just my observation. If someone is willing to self-efface and make jokes at their own expense, they're a lot more self-certain in who they are. They know what they're doing. If someone has a healthy sense of humor for themselves, it's usually a good sign that they have a good head on their shoulders. When someone is not willing to make fun of themselves, it shows a certain weakness of ego. And that's just in life generally. I'm self-effacing to the point of not believing I'm special in any way whatsoever, and everything I've ever earned is just out of dumb luck. But you'll find a lot of people who have no capability of being self-effacing. You mock one thing in jest about any of their hobbies, habits, or whatever, and they come unglued. Then again, that goes doubly strong in a fandom. Because it's like, you can make fun of Steiner players for just using ass loads of money and waves of dumb until the dumb gets smart. Because yes, Steiner Scout Squad is a meme, and it's based on certain eras of the Lyran Commonwealth, and it is exaggerated, as one might suggest that wartime propaganda is exaggerated. Much like the Davion's love of autocannons, it's exaggerated. Do they use only autocannons? No, of course not. But some people will have to make everything literal, and some people will have to take it at face value in every occasion. So hyperbole or jokes or jesting is lost on them. You'll make a joke, just one little haha, and they come unglued because it is not the literal, exact truth, which is where they live. Some people thrive on perfect data, and have no sense of humor. Those people must be mocked. Alright, let's move forward with a demolisher. There we go. And park it. And woe betide any person who says the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. If Folgers is the best part of your morning, reevaluate your life. I'm not trying to judge you at all. What I'm trying to implore is that you're worth more than that. And I'm not going to apologize for saying that because Folgers knows what they make. Folgers market is not people who enjoy tasting coffee, but for people who wake up in the morning and go, I need that in my blood right now. There's a reason why they sell it by the paint can. That being said, properly made coffee, if you actually pay attention to what you're doing, you can make any coffee pretty okay. And again, you can also doll it up. There's a lot of things you can do to make coffee better. If you get a nice slow pour, a pour over, and you observe all the perfect temperatures, you can take stuff like chock full of nuts or whatever, cheap brand of coffee and make it quite palatable. A friend of mine was for a time a barista, which is a very difficult job. And no, I don't mean a Starbucks barista. I mean a full coffee shop barista. And I made for him chock full of nuts, just bargain basement cheap coffee. Except I made it using the full pour over and everything else, just taking my time with it. And he said, this is good coffee. What is it? And I said, chock full of nuts. And he goes, oh, how'd you do that? And I'd said, it's not so much the coffee in all circumstances, but naturally, preparation. Now, there is that saying, it is a poor chef that blames their ingredients. I think that's true to coffee. Now, there is some coffee that's certainly a lot better in every aspect, and that's fine to say. I'm a Dow Egberts guy, and I know that's not the best in the world, but it's pretty tasty. But I don't buy it all the time, because it's pricey here in the States. Unless you have certain hookups. Alright, let's hope this guy comes into range, because I don't think I can get off this mountain. Actually, I could probably go around the backside. Alright, let's try that. Let's fall down the mountain with our mechs, shall we? As soon as this person comes into range, they're going to be hit with a bajillion rounds of ammo. It's an avatar. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's do it. Avatar. Holy crap. Well, was an avatar. It was an avatar. It existed. Looks like that's all they brought. And then again, the avatar is very expensive, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait until the enemy comes into range, I guess. Yep, we're just gonna wait. Nope, here comes the next one. Alright, we'll sensor lock that guy and then blow him up. Alright? Alright. Another avatar. What the fuck? Is this like a company demonstration team? Just gonna pelt this guy. If I can take this without a scratch, in terms of my guys not taking a hit, this will be hilarious. Rifleman. You know what? Let's see if we can get some accurate shots today. Yes. Oh, please don't be another avatar. That would be very, very bizarre to me. If it's 4 avatars, I'm gonna say, what? Did you just go to the dealership and say, give me the nice stuff? Well, there's 2 down. Yeah, that's a kill. Alright, Orion. Let's just brace. Let's just wait, shall we? Sensor lock, please. Dragonfire. All right, not all avatars. Got it. All right, let's put the Demolisher up on the rock. Like Lion King. Just sit up there. All right. Sensor lock. Yeah, there we go. Chaparral. Please fire. You may fire when ready. Yep, keep doing it to it. Keep doing it to it. Oh, yeah, there we go. You know what, Rifleman? I think today's the day you get to do something. Binary lasers. When those things hit, they do great. And then melt your own mech, but... Oh, he's coming up. All right, there's a Gauss round. Large laser. Maybe an ER large laser at this range, but that's alright. You know what? What are my odds? Good enough. MRMs. You did not bring enough missiles. No, not for how... You know what? I'm just going to agree with him. House Arano is very pleased with you. Thanks for showing up. Another Dragonfire. What an interesting lance. Demolisher can't do anything from his vantage point, and that's okay. Also, a bit on the long end of AC-20 range. Sensor lock. Alright, Chaparral. Let's pound it into him. A little bit of that old artillery there. Oh, man. When you've got just constant missiles falling on your head, it's time to move on. Binary laser, begin! Oh. I think this is going to be a clean sweep, boys and girls. And I might get one of them fancy Omni-Mechs out. Well, it's not really fancy. It's an Innersphere Omni-Mech, meaning it'll be alright. Alright, sandpaper, go! Well, I have the very high ground. Now, if he had just moved out of range, this would have been an awkward fight. I would have had to go the long way around the mountain. He could have piecemeal ambushed me, but didn't bring enough tonnage, really, to contest me here. Those avatars are interesting machines, but they're not that great, let's be honest. Ammo explodes. Don't have too much of it. Alright. Okie doke. Give me the avatar parts. I will take them. I will enjoy them. The Dragonfire I'm probably going to just sell off as stuff, you know? It's not going to be that great. It's going to be stuff. Stuff and things, as Boba says. At any rate, that'll do for this episode. I will see you guys later. And remember, please take care of yourselves. The world's fucky out there. And don't take no shit.
Farewell to my beautiful land, and as mustered and ordered before you I stand, to march off to war and to die if I must, and to fight like a bastard, in this you must trust. As the years pass along you will see what it's worth, bearing bodies and moving to another earth. I fear not the low bear what happens to me, just as long as my Van Zandt is finally free, just as long as old Van Zandt will remember me. Set a course to our neighbors or anywhere new, to a place where I can stand alongside the few of the bravest we have, though we are not the best. I'll wager we'll pass our most ultimate test, as the mayhem will follow what we do today, for all of our orders are morally gray. I fear not the low pay or what happens to me, as long as my Van Zandt is finally free, for as long as old Van Zandt will remember me. When we run out of ammo and finally fall, and no more are left to hear that last bugle call, they'll replace us with whatever they have left on hand, and again we'll rise up to defend our land. Though the Van Zandt militia is always at war, but we never quite know what we are fighting for. I fear not the low pay or what happens to me, as long as my Van Zandt is finally free, for as long as old Van Zandt will remember me. To join our brave causes, to offer your life, and surely surrender to permanent strife. But if you feel the call and are willing to sign, you will find that you place your life down on that line.
Surrender is never a tactic we use,
For our cockpits are lacking an ejection fuse. I fear not the low pay or what happens to me, as long as my Van Zandt is finally free, just as long as my homeland will remember me.